Hello, this is Jeremy with John's Waterproofing.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, I was just calling to let you know I'd be there in about a half an hour.
We'll be waiting. Thank you.
Alrighty, sounds good. See you soon.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Going into the crawl space, first opening the pump up, checking for any debris inside there, checking the pump out. We will run the hose into the main pump, get it cleaned up, tested, check the backup battery because he has a backup system on it as well. Then once we finish that, we will do our perimeter crawl, checking for any loose posts, any signs of things that may need to be touched up. We'll then, at the same time, be checking out all the smart drains. I think it has 2 of them, so as we're doing the crawl around the crawl space, we will check those out to make sure they haven't got any water. Change out all the alarm batteries, filters, and just make sure everything is looking and working as it should. All right, so now I'm going to open up the container. We can get a look at the inside. So not bad. As you can tell, it's got some debris at the bottom. The pump looks like it needs some cleaning. So we'll now get this side opened up, and I'll go grab my hose and we'll run some water in here. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to wipe down the liner, get any debris cleaned out of here because I don't want any mud or rocks or anything being sucked up into the propeller. I'm going to clean off the pump, and then I'll clean out the breather holes as well. Want to make sure the breather holes get cleaned out when you don't want any mud or dirt or dust getting stuck in there because it'll have a tendency to airlock itself. So cleaning those out will help prevent that. Alrighty, so now that we got all the debris cleaned out of the bottom of the container, we are going to just unplug everything. I'm going to simulate a power outage to test the backup system. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and just unplug all the pumps. So that way there's no power going to the pumps. We're just going to let it fill up and simulate power outage. I'm going to test the backup pump to make sure it's still working properly, has good pull, has enough juice to push all the water out. So you can see the backup pump also has an audible alarm. So it's not only good to keep a customer dry when there's a power outage, but it's also a good indicator for if there's anything that goes on with the pumps and the customer wouldn't have known about it. If they hear this audible alarm, it kind of gives them a signal to let them know that there is something going on down there. So even if they haven't lost power, it's a good indicator for them to be able to give us a call and get us out here before it becomes a real issue. So now that we've ran the hose in the container, cleaned out the liner, cleaned out the pumps, cleaned out the breather holes, we've cycled the pump, tested the backup, we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on, wipe off the lid, then we'll go ahead and just move over to the dehumidifier. Alright, so we have the Sanidry filter, it's a MERV 8 filter. We're just going to go ahead and replace the old one with a newer one. We're going to clean the drain line out. Okay. So I'm going to spray some cleaner through it to help try and clean it out a little bit. Okay, so the dehumidifier is one of the more important parts of the encapsulation. Having a dehumidifier in the crawl space helps control the humidity, keep it at a certain level. We like to set it at about 55% humidity. So anytime that the crawl space gets above 55%, this will automatically kick on. It'll dehumidify the whole crawl space. As you can see, we have the ducting running through, so it pushes air and it circulates it around, comes back to the dehumidifier. Then once it pulls the humidity from the air, the humidity is created in the machine and it goes to the drain line, which then goes to the sump pump. So you never have to touch this. We set it for 55%. It does all its own work. All right, so this is the smart drain. It's great for indicating of like plumbing leaks. If the crawl space ever got water, if it didn't have a pump, it'd have an indication to let the customer know that the crawl space has now started to get water. It comes with an audible alarm. So if this ever gets enough water in it that it fills up, it's gonna come up through here and drain into here. and then it'll set off this alarm, which would let the customer know that they have water in their smart drain. Okay, now that we've checked out the sump pump, the backup, we've checked out the dehumidifier, the Santa Dry Sedona, and we've checked out both smart drains now. Now we will move on to doing a perimeter crawl around the crawl space. We're just going to check out for, make sure everything's still nice and taped down, make sure there's no rodents getting in, make sure there's no pipe leaks, just make sure everything is working as it should. Alrighty, we are all finished up. It's always important to have us come out. We catch issues before they happen because our goal is to keep the crawl space dry and healthy.